Alright guys, in this video we're gonna be going over how to create a video with the cinematic look and feel of an Oscar nominated film. Yeah, so we're gonna be going over 3 steps. First, finding the perfect aspect ratio, then the color grading, and finally the sound design, which is the most important. So let's get started. First we'll be going over the aspect ratio. So for that what you want to do is firstly import your clips, and then you're gonna go to file and project settings. Here this is the default interface that you're gonna be met with, but since Oscar nominated films usually go for a wider look, we're gonna be going for custom, and then usually the ratio is around 2.15 to 1. So according to 1080, 2.15 would be 2538. Alright, and the frame rate is obviously going to be 24, as this is a universal value and it makes most sense. Color space, we're not going to be dealing with that, and yeah, with that our aspect ratio is done. Alright, now we're going to be importing our clips, keeping the project settings, and now we're going to be going over color grading. So for that we're going to be going to filters, and I've selected 3 effects for this and I'm going to be telling you why. So firstly I'm going to be choosing teal orange, as Hollywood movies usually like to go for the warmer look, and for that teal orange works great as it's not too warm, not too cold, but it's towards the warmer side, and it keeps a little bit of coolness because of the teal. Alright, now one thing you can do to fill in this black, fill in this darkness, is to use crop to fit, and with that our media is fitted accordingly, and I'm going to be doing the same over here, and as you can see it does a great job. And after teal orange I'm going to be going for moonrise vintage. See, so yeah, it gives a pretty good look, and especially with the second clip over here, because with the sound design I'm going to be telling a story between these 2 clips. The sound design is going to explain it all, and this is just stock footage, so I couldn't really find a good clip of a campfire, but here's one. And then the other I decided to shift focus to an eerie footage, so as you can see it pans really slowly, and then we get to this footage where we just see rapid scan lines, and this is gonna help us create great suspense, and especially with the sound design. So yeah, I used moonrise footage and teal orange for my color grading, and the reason I didn't use normal vintage was because it was doing this. Yeah, this is just a bug, but it wasn't really working. It gave a really purplish hue to my video, so it didn't really work. This worked perfectly. I'm gonna be keeping this to maybe 59-60. Yeah, so this works perfectly. Right now, another thing you do with the color grading is obviously go to the color of each video and then bump up the contrast and lower the shadows, lower the highlights, so it gives an even more suspenseful look. So the thing is with color grading is that it usually depends on what type of theme you're going for. In this video I'm going for a really suspenseful theme because why not? So that's why for this case what you should do is increase the contrast and lower the highlights to lower the lighting, and then lower the shadows as well to make it darker. And what you could do for some clips would be increase the white and leave the black as it is. Alright, and interfering with the brightness and exposure might give you much, as right now increasing the exposure over here really opposes the idea of the suspensefulness. It really doesn't make any sense, so that's why I'm going to be putting this back to 0. And yeah, so this looks good. Alright, now we're going to be going over the sound design, which is the most important section of this video. Alright, so now with the aspect ratio and color grading being done, we're going to be focusing on the sound design. So first of all, let's look at the first clip. We see a campfire, some trees, well, many trees, and then a bright sky. And for the camera perspective, we see that it's really close to the campfire, so that really matters in the sound design. So yeah, alright, so first let's create the atmosphere over here. I know that there's gonna be some wind moving around, so for that I have chosen the wind sound effect over here. Alright, and then for the campfire, obviously there's gonna be some logs being burned, so for that I have this burning, crackling logs and a fireplace. Obviously not the same thing, a fireplace is different, but the idea is the same. So that's why I'm gonna be going with this over here. Alright, now I was thinking to add some birds, because why not? Obviously there's gonna be birds, and with so many trees over here, it makes most sense. I found this spring bird chirping sound, and by the way, all these sound effects are available on YouTube, and you could even get sound effects from some packs that some editors provide. So there are many ways to go about this, but specifically these sound effects I have found out from YouTube. Alright, so the birds are done, the logs are done, the wind sound effect is done. The wind is the most important as it provides the base layer for the sound over here. Alright, now I was thinking of adding some cattle sound, because I don't know, anything could be going on, and yeah, so it made bit sense to add some cattle sound. And one other thing I was thinking about was to add some rustling sound of some leaves, because that also makes sense, but you guys could add that, as the wind sound pretty much does all the work over here. So let's listen to what we have over here. Alright, so let me just reduce the sheep sound. Right, see, so it sounds pretty good. In my opinion, it sounds pretty good, like the whole atmosphere is set. Alright, so now moving on to the second clip sound design of we know that the camera pans in really close to the object being displayed over here. So for that, what we have to do is make changes to the first clip sound design. And what are those? Making the sound louder as we approach the second clip. So I've just keyframed the volume over here, not anything difficult, really simple. And with that, the tension, because with that it helps us build up the tension that leads towards the second clip, and the second clip is the main thing that's gonna be going on over here. Alright, so the first thing is we see a vinyl over here, and I'm just gonna be using the vinyl crackle sound effect that I found on YouTube. Crop it down to where it shows the vinyl. Then I'll be going for the turntable hum sound effect that I also found on YouTube, and the great thing about this is that it fades in, fades out automatically, so I don't even have to do anything. Alright, so these are the obvious sounds that are being shown over here. These sounds belong to this. Alright, now obviously there's gonna be something in the background as well, and since it's such an old we see the furniture, we see the device over here, we see this over here, so obviously I thought there's gonna be some type of old TV or radio as well, so that's why I'm gonna be using the radio tuning sound effect. And this is gonna be playing throughout the clip because the radio is gonna be present throughout the clip. Alright, so yeah, that makes sense. Now the main sound effect over here is gonna be the loud silence sound effect. Actually there were two. The deep echo sound effect also made a lot of sense, but I thought I would be using that at the end, and I'll be telling you why. So for this we're just gonna be using the loud silence sound effect. because once again this helps us immediately shift the tension towards the second clip, and it immediately negates all the sounds being played in the first clip without any awkwardness or any awkward pause. And we're gonna be fading this out. As you can see, I'm dragging the point over here. Same thing I'm gonna be doing with this one. All right. Oh yeah, and the most important thing is what the actual song is being played on this record over here. And for that I chose the most iconic sound I could find, Tiptoe to the Tulips by Tiny Tim. I had to use this, so I could just fade in this song from here. Yeah, so this works perfectly, and now look what we have now. See, so yeah, this is awesome. This is going perfectly fine. And now we have this glitchy scanline thingy. So obviously the first thing I had to search on YouTube was glitch sound effect, and I found this perfect glitch sound effect. Then a radio static sound effect I thought would look cool. Alright, so now let's listen to what we have now. Yep, so yeah, this is what we have now, and let me just fade out the music being played on the record, because the camera pans away from the object towards a new object, and so the new object has its own sound design. So we have now focused onto that over here by fading out of the first object sound design to fading into the second object sound design. So this is the concept of sound design being played over here. Yeah, so obviously we can't let this clip running on forever. So for that I have used the deep echo sound effect. And with this deep echo, I'll just crop the footage over here so that it immediately shuts down. See, and yeah, so this is basically a transition, and the transition will be explained in the next video, so be sure to watch that. And yeah, this was the sound design. Once again, let's just listen to what we have here. Yeah, wonderful, absolutely amazing. So this is what we have over here. We have gone over the aspect ratio, the color grading, and the sound design. The sound design being the most important part of this whole video. So I hope you guys enjoyed, hope you guys learned something from this. And yeah, this was how to create the cinematic look and feel of an Oscar nominated film. Like and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you in the next one.